It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl. Today, two outstanding elementary teams here to play our game, the winner of which will take on Greenbelt for the chance to move on in our elementary competition playoffs. Nice to have you with us today. Play along and see if you can keep up with our students. Let's meet today's teams. First, from Deerfield Run Elementary School, would you say hello to Michaela James, Christian Sopa, and Jeremy Martinez. And from Laurel Elementary, here they are, Gif Ajaruchi, Andrew Hernandez, and Aaron Munoz. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
And here on the Science Bowl, our game board has questions related to their difficulty displayed here. The easier questions on the left worth 5 and 10 points. The tougher ones, 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. And to the 2 rounds, we will have a team that moves on to play Greenbelt for the chance to go on to the playoffs. Let's go over and make sure everything is working properly. Christian, would you try your buzzer? It looks and sounds okay. Good luck to you, to Michaela, and to Jeremy. Andrew, how about it? Give it a push. Good. Looks wonderful. Good luck to you, to Aaron, and to Gift. You know, it's not everybody who gets to play Science Bowl. You guys are elite students. You're here representing your school. So you've already won just by being in these seats. So let's just have a good time. We go alphabetically D before L, so Deerfield and Christian, let's play the bowl.
Zoo Parade for 10, please.
Zoo Parade for 10 points. Teams, there's an animal in Australia called the wombat. It's the only mammal that poops in squares. And those little squares he puts outside of his den because it helps to keep predators away. Wombats, like those other Australian mammals like Tasmanian devils and kangaroos, are what kind of pouched animals? What do we call them? Christian.
Like kangaroos.
What do we call a pouched animal? Pouched mammal. Laurel, what do you think? It's called a marsupial. A marsupial. Marsupials have pouches. Try again, Red. Christian, go.
Let's get physical for 5 points, please.
Let's get physical for 5 points. All right, teams, this is the Christmas season when we're taping this show. You know Frosty the Snowman? He was a jolly, happy soul with a corncob pipe and a button nose, and his eyes were made out of this fossil fuel. Christian?
Coal.
Coal, that's right. He had 2 eyes made out of coal. Thanks, Michaela, for your help. Go, Christian.
Science Potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, some people who are paralyzed are now walking again because they put them inside this giant shell, which is like the shell on an insect, which is really on an insect like what body system you have on the inside. Christian?
Bones.
Bones, that's right. It's an exoskeleton. Good answer, young man. Go.
Dateline Science for 15 points.
Dateline Science for 15. Teams, people from out of the past. There used to be a mayor here in Washington. His name was Marion Barry. There used to be a prime minister in England. Her name was Margaret Thatcher. They had nothing in common, but both went to college. They got a degree in science, in this kind of science where you have a laboratory and you make reactions.
Chemistry.
They were both what,
Pastor
Deerfield
Jeremy.
Run?
Chemistry.
Yeah, they were both chemists. Thank you, Jeremy. You guys look like chemists in your white coats over there. You're looking smart. And I like you guys in those matching black shirts over there as well. Okay, Red, go.
Body systems for 15 points.
Body systems for 15 points. Teams, big word, but listen to the clue in the word. If you go into the hospital and you have a complete gastrectomy, They take out all of this organ. They're going to take out all of this organ if you have a complete gastrectomy.
Your stomach.
Deerfield, run.
Your stomach.
Your stomach, yes, because gastric juices, gastrointestinal, that was your clue. Well played. Red.
Let's get physical for 15 points.
For 15 points. Teams, the imaginary line that divides the moon or planets from the light side to the dark side has what same name as the movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger said, "I'll be back."
Hemispheres.
Not hemisphere. No, good try. Andrew, I'll be back.
The axis.
The Terminator. The Terminator. It's the Terminator line. Try again, red.
Zoo parade for 20 points.
Zoo parade for 20. All right, teams, I'm going to give you, this is some big words here, but there are clues in them, and I'm going to give you a multiple choice. I want you to tell me what kind of animal I'm describing. Its scientific name, like we have a scientific name, Homo sapiens, or the snake boa constrictor. This is a big one. Hemophysalis longicornis. Hemo and cornis are clues for you. Am I describing a long-eared monkey, a long-horned tick, or a long-nosed beetle?
The first one.
The first one? No, not the long-eared monkey. It is a Hemophysalis longicornis.
The last
Was
one.
it the monkey? Was it the tick? Was it the beetle?
The beetle.
No, it was the one in the center, because a tick eats what? Blood. And hemo means blood. And cornis means horn, like a unicorn. That was a tough question. Nice try. Go, red.
Science potpourri for 20 points.
Potpourri for 20 points. Some animals, in order to evade predators, are transparent. The light goes right through some butterflies, it goes right through some fish, and then there's a snail where the light partly goes through. So it's not transparent, it's not opaque. What do we call that condition where light goes partially through? What you think? Laurel, you got an answer for me. Not transparent, what?
Reflection.
Good try. Translucent, it's called. Translucent. It's like those glass blocks that you have in your bathroom. You can't see the people taking the shower, but the light still comes through. Okay, the buzzer says we've come to the end of the first round here. Laurel is just kind of getting their act together over there. They're still at 50. Deerfield Run is at 95, and we'll be back with the second part of Science Bowl in just a moment. Don't go away. And welcome back to Science Bowl. Hope you're enjoying today's game. We haven't added too many points to our set here, but we will do that in the second half. Before we do that, let's find out a little bit more about our players and their schools. Let's go to Deerfield Run. And Christian, nice to have you back again, a returning player. Tell me about Deerfield Run. Who's your principal?
My principal is Miss Wall.
Miss Wall, yes, a wonderful principal. I know I've met her and worked with her before. And the sponsor of your team is Mr. Tucker, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, thank you, Seth, for all that you've done to get this team ready to be here today. And we really like those lab coats. You guys look like scientists today. And any alternates on your team?
Jamie.
Yeah, and we'll be out in just a few moments here. And Christian, like I always like to do, tell the audience something about Deerfield Run that you are proud of, that you love.
Well, we're starting a robotics club, and I'm supposed to be a captain for it as well.
Wow, the captain of the robotics club. Something tells me you would be a good choice for that. What do you want to do someday, Christian?
Engineering and being a president.
That makes sense to me. Engineering, robotics, you're doing all the right things to head into what you hope will be your career. Jeremy, tell us the Jeremy story. What do you do in your spare time?
I like to read the periodic table and play soccer. I like to play street soccer with my friend Jonathan and Justin. My friend Joshua is a good player.
Yeah. Well, you know, there are a lot of soccer players on this panel here today, as we discovered earlier. We could put a team together almost right here. I wish I had a soccer ball. You guys could demonstrate some of your skills. What do you want to do someday? Do you want to be a professional soccer player?
Kind of.
Kind of? What else would you like?
A scientist.
A scientist, yeah. You
I
look
would
like
love
a
to.
scientist.
I'd love to.
I like that you like the periodic table because it's fascinating. You know, some of the symbols are about the names of chemicals that used to be, like PB is lead because it used to be called plumbum, and that's where the word plumber comes from. Good to have you, Jeremy. Michaela, tell us your story. What do you want to do someday?
Well, I like to read, so I like an author, but I'm also very interested in being a YouTuber.
A?
YouTuber.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So you've written some things already, I take it, huh?
Well, I'm in the process of writing.
Yeah. Writing's hard, isn't it?
Yes.
Writing is hard. You got to write and rewrite and rewrite. Sometimes it's hard to let it go because you want to change it one more time. Nice to have you here today. Michaela is just really delighted to be here on the Science Bowl because I think you've probably thought about this for a while, and now here you are. Yeah, it's her moment, folks. Laurel, nice to have you guys here. Andrew, tell us the Andrew story. First of all, how'd they make you the captain?
They voted for me.
They voted for you?
Yes, my teammates.
All right. Well, so you're in the hot seat over there, right? Aaron and Gift, you got to help him out. Nudge him, poke him. He's a big guy. He can take it. Let him know. Push that buzzer. And make sure you talk to each other. Who's your principal, Andrew?
Miss Lee.
Wonderful. And out there, Miss Lee is very proud of you guys. And who's the sponsor of your team?
Miss Woodman.
Absolutely. And thank you very much for taking this on for the very first time. And Gift, I think, or one of you was telling me how much that your coach, your sponsor, makes science, that it's always fun in her class. Any alternates on your team, Andrew?
Emily.
Emily, she'll be out in just a few moments. And tell me something special about Laurel.
Laurel is a great school. They teach us well.
Okay. So when you get up in the morning, are you anxious to get to school? You like the
Yes.
place?
Yes.
That says everything, because if you don't like the place, if the teachers aren't looking out for you, you're not going to want to go. And what do you want to do as a profession? You're a soccer player, aren't you?
Yes.
You want to be a professional soccer player?
Yes.
I kind of thought so. Aaron, you're a soccer player. You want to be a professional soccer player? Yeah. Gift, do you play soccer?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got almost a part of a team over there. Let me go back to Andrew for a moment there. Andrew, tell me why you wanted to be on this show.
Well, my favorite subject is science,
Yeah.
and I like to learn a lot about science.
Wonderful. We hope you're learning a lot, and we hope we learn a lot from you today. Aaron, how about you? Why'd you want to be here?
I wanted to be here because I like science. I like all the subjects in science. It's an interesting subject.
It helps explain how the world works, doesn't it, Aaron? Yeah. And Gift, I can see you're a safety patrol.
Yeah.
Where's your place at Laurel? Where do you patrol?
At school.
Is it out front or in the hallway or in the cafeteria? Where's
No,
your
I hold the sign.
What's that?
I hold the sign for the bus.
Okay, I understand it. Tell me what you hope to do someday.
I hope to study in the medical field and learn about the specific names of the body parts and how they work.
Yeah, the human body is just fascinating. We hardly even know, after all these years of being around and inhabiting them, how they really work. And after we figure it out, maybe we can conquer some diseases, huh? That are taking too many of us. Let's get back into that game. 95 for Deerfield run. Laurel's at 50. And last correct answer, Christian, start us out again. Let's get some energy here, guys. Come on. We need some energy. Stay with me. 10 more minutes. Jeremy, you with me?
Yes.
Aaron, are you okay? All right. Let's look alive over there. Let's get some energy. Here we go, Christian.
Let's get physical for 10 points.
Let's get physical for
10 points.
10 points. All right, teams. If you know who Tiger Woods is, sometimes he hits a shot that goes in the sand trap. To get out of the sand trap, he goes into his bag, or he asks his caddy, give me this W initial club, because it's like an inclined plane and it helps to lift the ball out of the sand onto the green. What is that W initialed simple machine called? Come on, Laurel. Put your heads together. It's called, no. Christian, Jeremy, Michaela, W initial club. It helps to lift that ball out of the sand trap. It's a wedge. It's a wedge. Try again, Red.
Body systems for 5 points.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, you know, sometimes there's a song that gets stuck in your head. Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? You can't stop thinking about it. That's called a worm in what sense organ? Andrew.
A worm in the brain.
Not in your brain. What sense organ? That's like a worm in what sense organ?
A worm in your ear.
Ear. It's called an earworm. That's it. Good. Okay, Christian. Let's go.
Body systems for 10 points.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, you know your nose has a bridge. Your foot has an arch. And these bones are found in a cage. Laurel?
The rib bones.
The ribs. That's right. Your rib cage. Good. All right, let's get some more points. Come on.
Zoo parade for 15.
Zoo parade for 15 points. Teams, sometimes evolution does some strange things, like dinosaurs growing feathers and then becoming birds. That's pretty weird. And then whales like the blue whales, they lost these because they didn't have to chomp on all those little bits of food.
Teeth.
Christian?
Teeth.
Yeah, they lost their teeth. They came up with this sieve thing called baleen to sift out all of those billions of tiny little plankton floating in the ocean. Go, Red.
Zoo parade for 5 points.
Zoo parade for 5 points. Teams, women often say they have to kiss a lot of these amphibians to find their Prince Charming, Andrew.
A frog.
Frogs, yes, or toads. Go, Green.
Dateline science for 5.
Dateline science for 5 points. Look at the monitor in the studio, if you would, for this question. This doesn't look real. Looks like someone gave this turtle a punk rock haircut. This is called the Mary River turtle. It's real. It lives in Australia. And that green stuff on its head is what kind of plant, Christian?
Moss.
Not moss. Good try. Laurel, that green stuff growing on its head is what kind of plant that we often find growing too much in an aquarium?
Algae.
Algae, yeah, that's algae all over his head. Helps to camouflage him a little bit, maybe entice some fish a little closer. All right, you're getting up there. 115 to 70. Go, Green.
Daylight science for 10.
Dateline science for 10 points. All right, teams. Even though it tastes good, don't eat raw cookie dough because the egg in the dough contains salmonella bacteria, and in the flour there can be E. coli bacteria. E. coli famously was found in what kind of lettuce recently that the government said, don't eat it? Christian?
Lettuce ground lettuce.
No, it was a specific kind of lettuce, Laurel.
Romaine.
Romaine lettuce, that's it. Thank you, Gift. You remembered that. Romaine lettuce. Go, Green.
Science potpourri for 5.
Science potpourri for 5 points. Teams, all members of the invertebrate class Porifera are maybe not as famous as this one. Absorbent, yellow, and porous is he. Laurel?
A sponge.
That's sponge. Yeah, that's SpongeBob. Arian heard that. Yeah. Go again. Green.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, when you're picking out a Christmas tree, firs and spruces are better than pines because they keep these longer. Christian?
They keep their branches longer.
Not their branches. Laurel, what do they keep longer if you're picking out a Christmas tree? Firs and spruces are better than pines at keeping these longer.
Leaves.
Say it.
Leaves.
Not leaves. Well, more specifically.
Spines.
Needles. Needles. You know, the trees that shed all their needles, you don't want those. Sometimes on the lot, it's like Charlie Brown's tree, you know, sad looking thing there. Okay, go, Green.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, if you saw the movie Finding Nemo, you know that it was in Australia and there was a coral reef and there are all those wonderful fish. Well, the animators, they had to take out this brown seaweed that was down there that normally grows in cold water in forests. What's the name of that K initial brown seaweed, Deerfield?
Kale.
Say it.
Kale.
Not kale, no. Laurel, what is it?
Kelp.
Kelp. That's it. Kelp is that seaweed. Go. All right. You're almost tied. Come on.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, there is a weed in the Potomac River called the hydrilla that can reproduce sexually and 4 ways asexually. That's why we can't get rid of it. It's known as vegetative propagation. If you're a good speller, I'll give you 15 points if you... Okay, Christian?
Vegetation.
Go ahead.
Vegetation.
Okay, I think you jumped in a little too soon here. The process of asexual is called vegetative propagation. All I need you to do is spell vegetative. Who's going to be my speller over there? Somebody's got to step up. Gift, are you going to be the speller?
Yeah.
Okay, honey, say the word for me nice and loud so I know that you're hearing what I'm saying.
Wait, what's the word again?
Vegetative.
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 I think you got all the letters, but just not the right order. V-E-G-E-T-A-T-I-V-E. Try again, green.
Uh,
Go ahead, Andrew.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. All right, teams. What gas? Jeremy, you've been studying the periodic table. Stay tuned here. What gas is the best one to put in your tires because it doesn't leak out?
Nitrogen.
You got that right. You didn't need the rest of it. Boy, Jeremy, you shined on that one. It's the same gas they put in potato chip bags so the potato chips don't get stale.
They do?
Yes, they do.
Yes, they
When
do.
you open up the potato chip bag, all that nitrogen gets out. That's why pretty soon it's like, wait a minute, why aren't they nice and crisp anymore? So the longer you keep the bag closed, the longer they're going to stay fresh because the nitrogen has been pumped in there.
Okay.
All right. Good answer, young man. Go red.
Let's get physical for 20 points.
Let's get physical for 20 points. All right, teams, your question is as follows. Acid rain. You might have heard of acid rain. Acid rain is caused by having a gas in the air with the symbol SO2. SO2. Come on, periodic table. Name that gas.
Pass to
Sulfine?
German.
What's that?
Sulfine?
Not sulfine. You're getting in the right ballpark. SO2 is the name of what gas that makes acid rain? Come on, Andrew. Gift is telling you.
So, wait, passing
Gift, tell me what you got.
Sulfur and oxygen?
Oh, so close. Sulfur was right. Dioxide. Sulfur, two oxides there. That was a tough question. Go again, red.
Dateline 20. Huh? Green things for 20 points.
Green things for 20 points. You probably never thought about this with when they put a brand new plant, a little tree, in the ground in the fall. Sometimes they put white tape around the trunk or they paint it white with a white paint because you can't put dark glasses on a little tree, but during the winter, it can actually suffer from this. Christian.
Hypothermia? Hypothermia.
Not hypothermia. That's a good try. Andrew. It can't put on dark glasses, but it's still suffering from what?
running.
Sunburn. Sunburn. Try again, red. Christian?
Dateline science for 20 points.
Dayline science for 20 points. All right, teams. You know, if you put a gallon of milk in the refrigerator for a long time, it's okay. But eventually, if you don't take it out and drink it, it goes bad because the bacteria inside that milk is not all killed off during what P initial process? Deerfield, run.
Pasteurization.
Say it again.
Pasteurization. Pasteurization.
Pasteurization. That's right. Good. Go.
Body systems for 20 points.
Body systems for 20 points. Teams, if you really studied for Science Bowl, you stayed up late, you went to every practice session, you probably could say, boy, I poured out 3 of these body fluids in large quantities.
Blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah, got it. Thank you, Michaela. That's a song, too. Blood, sweat, and tears. All right, the buzzer is sounded, which means we didn't get to any of the 25-point questions, but we do have a winner today, and we will tell you more about that in just a moment. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Science Bowl, everybody. Well, we had a lot of answered questions here today, and we're proud of all 6 of our young people. It's hard when you're here for the very first time, but they acquitted themselves beautifully. Our final tally today is Laurel 95, Deerfield run 170. Congratulations to Michaela and Christian and Jeremy. And Emily is, where is Emily? Emily is over there. Adenia, nice to have you here today. Miss Patterson, the co-sponsor, and the one and only Mr. Tucker over here, who always sends us a great team. Let's give him a nice round of applause. The Deerfield Run team. And the Laurel team, a round of applause for them too. Gift and Andrew and Aaron, Miss Whitman and Emily. Nice to have you here today, and I like that you're a patrol officer as well over there. Thank you for joining us today on Science Bowl. We'll see you next time. I'm Dave Zarin. Until then, bye-bye.